Hello, happy Monday. It is December 16th. It is 6 o'clock p.m. and I am Cassie with Created by Cassie. Um, I am so glad that you decided to join me for this video. I really appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed, give this video a thumbs up. And let's see. Can you guys believe that it is almost time for Christmas? I can't believe it. Time is flying by. Whoops, wrong thing. So I have my newsletter. My weekly newsletter comes out on Wednesdays. If you are interested in joining, I have the link in the description. I would love to have you join. It's a happy, fun little weekly newsletter. We also have some last chance products listed out on the Stampin' Up website. Definitely want to go check that out. Some of them are sale prices, so if you want something, you better get it now. Last week we did the Latte Love bundle, and it is, hey Jen, and the Latte Love Bundle is part of the retiring items. So it's one of my favorites. So definitely go get that. Hey Debbie, how are you doing? All right. So tonight we're going to be working with the Frosted Forest Bundle. This was one of my favorite bundles when it first came out. It's been out for a little while. But it is, let's see, let me go to my hands here. All right, so if you know me at all, you know that I love trees and flowers, and that's kind of like my go-to when I'm making cards, and so this was like right up my alley. Tonight our card is themed winter, and I thought this was, oh good, Debbie, I'm so glad you got my card today. I'm glad you love it. I had so much fun making them this year. So this has, this tree is really good for doing fall. I haven't decided or figured out how to use it for winter yet, but these two I definitely used for winter. And so this bundle, it comes with, you get the dies here, all the dies here. You get the stamps, as well as you get these masks, or the blending folder things. Hey Carol, how you doing? And we're actually going to be using this set tonight. I'm really excited about these cards. I did 2 cards. So there's a set for the like fir type trees, and there's also a set for the larger kind of like leafy oak tree kind of. So you can do it either one. We're gonna work with the fir kind of trees. So which are this one, I think. Yep, this one. Yep. And then also this die right here, we're going to be using this die, and it is one of my absolute favorite dies, I think, of all time. Kind of going out of frame here. I'm still getting used to this new setup. But I just love this die. If you don't want anything outside of this set, you definitely want this die because it is beautiful. So let's get started. So for our first card we're going to make tonight, this is our first card. How pretty is this? I just love this Coastal Cabana as a, hey Bev, how are you doing? I just love this Coastal Cabana as a winter color. This background paper here is from the Winterly, is it the Winterly Treetops or Winterly, I have it right here, what is it called? Let's see, Nests of Winter paper, DSP that we have. And then this die here came from, I think it's the Unbounded Love set. There wasn't a die in this set for a sentiment, so I pulled it from another set. This, you guys, is the tree die that I was showing you. Is that not gorgeous? I just love how this card came out. It even has a little dove up at the top. And of course we have our inside. Isn't that beautiful? And this is the smaller of the tree stamps. And then of course our envelope. Has to be pretty. Didn't you guys enjoy getting your envelopes that were decorated with your Christmas cards? So pretty. All right. So let's get started. So what we're going to need is you're going to need a couple pieces of scraps. You're going to need a scrap piece of the Coastal Cabana, which is going to be for our sentiment. And then you're going to need a scrap of white, basic white, which is going to be for our dove and for our tree. And then to do our, put this back in frame here, to do our trees back here, you're going to need, I did it a 4 by 4 7/8 size paper. You definitely want to make sure that it's going to go from side to side. I took an 1/8 off of this one here. So I did the white paper the same to cut that out. Then we have our DSP, which is 4 7/8 by 5 1/8. And it is this beautiful bubbly, they look like bubbles to me, but I think they're supposed to be snowflakes. And it's on, this is the back of the piece of paper. And these birds are just beautiful. I love this paper so much. Then, hey Susan. Yes, it does have so many uses. So we're going to have a white piece, of basic white, which is going to be 4 and 5 1/4, which is our back white piece. Our inside piece, which is my standard 3 3/4 by 5. And we have our envelope, of course, and then our card base is my favorite cut, which is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I don't know why, that's just my favorite cut. I tend to gravitate towards it. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is do our tree. And this is a really cool way of making a tree or anything really with very minimal effort, honestly. So we're going to take our Frosted Forest sheets here, and they're plastic. So the first one we have is semi-detailed, and then we get a little bit more detailed here to make the color darker. And then it gives it a little bit of a snow cap here with this one here. And we have them, they are labeled. I personally write with a marker, a Sharpie, just so that I can see it easier. And they do wipe off. This is just my, me using it, is the green. It does clean up and wipe right off. So we're going to do our first layer, which is going to be our layer A. And I'm going to take a blending brush, which this is one of our blending brushes here. And you can get one of these in my online store. And what I'm going to do for today, let me grab my scratch paper here, just in case I decide to go wild with the ink, which can happen. So I'm going to use Old Olive. And for this very first layer, I'm going to do a very light coat of this Old Olive. And I'm actually going to use whatever is already on my blending brush, and I just go left, right, up, down, however you want to get it into the little crevices. And you can also tape this down if it works better for you. For this one in particular, I don't feel like it has to be exact. I kind of like it where it's not exact. But they do have a little notch right here. Let me see, let me do this. They do have a little notch right here that you can use to line it up if you want to do that. I do that with some of the other ones I have, but for this one in particular, I actually kind of like it where it's not exact. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? And that's just one layer. And that's just what was left on my brush there. So I'm going to take my bee and I'm just going to lay this on here. And if you notice here, I kind of laid it so that it gave it like the edges were green. That's the way that I try to line it up, where instead of lining it up so that I'm making it where, let me see if I can show you. Instead of lining it up so where you see the green already in there, I line it up where you see the white, if you can see that. Because I want this white to be outlined with a darker green, which is what gave me this darker outline here on the edges of the tree branches. I just think it's gorgeous that way. I played around with it a lot, and that's just my favorite way that I did it. So I actually cover up exactly what I did the first time, and this time I'm just going to go in a circle on my ink with my blending brush, and you always want to brush it off on your paper. Oh, Jen, you're trying this? Do you have this bundle? I thought you didn't have this bundle. This is such a pretty bundle. So you always, when you do your ink on your ink pad first, yes, still Old Olive, yep. Always rub it off because it can get very dark when you re-ink it, and you definitely don't want that on, if you don't want it on your image, you want to make sure that you get it off so that it doesn't glob on there and make it super dark and heavy. So I'm just going to go over this a little bit on the heavier side because I want that outline. There we go. And sometimes it's hard to get in these corners here, and I just kind of, especially with this set, it's very forgiving. So I just push it all up in there to get it. Oh, guys, look at how pretty this is. Oh, is that not gorgeous? Oh, I just love it. One of my favorites. I just love this set. I remember when I first got it, Jen was like, I knew you were going to get that. All right, so now what we're going to do, this is a little special technique I came up with. I'm sure somebody else came up with it, but I came up with it in my brain. I haven't seen it before. So I'm going to line up this one, which kind of has like, you could kind of make it where it has little snowy caps if you had some white ink. But I'm going to line it up with the tip up here. Oh, yeah, then I made you get it. Yeah, Jen. So I'm going to line this tip here with the tip up here and line it up that way so that my edges here that are open are on the green and the white. And then I'm going to take our friend Stella here, Winka Stella, and I'm just going to paint on through these little spots here as my snow. It's just going to glimmer. And I just thought this was a brilliant idea when I thought of it. I'm sure somebody else has done this before, but I haven't seen it, and so I feel like for me, I came up with it. But it really adds a little something extra. It does look like you spent hours coloring it, doesn't it? And it's so easy. And the thing I love about this bundle is it takes minimal effort to get there. And it looks beautiful. And it's so easy. Easy and simple. And I know a lot of people love easy and simple. Let's see, make sure I'm getting all of them here. We can't skimp on our Stella, right? Everybody loves a little shimmer. Yeah, it is kind of blending the green ink. Yeah, I kind of brushed it off after I was done with it. But it hasn't blended too bad for me when I was working with it. But it does come off pretty easy on, let's see, did I get them all? I think I got them all. Oh, I think I missed this one. All right. Yeah, and I just kind of like wipe it off a little bit to get that little bit of green off if it does do that. But it was really minimal for me. And then, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but it does have that shimmer. See if I can get it to, I don't know that I can get it to shimmer. But trust me, it's there and it's beautiful. And that's our tree. So from here, we would take our bundle, get our die, which is going to be this larger one right here. And we put it over, and then we run it through our Stampin' Emboss machine. And I already did that, if I can find it. It's around here somewhere. Well, I had it. Well, it left. I wonder if I knocked it on the floor and my dog Dublin got it. So we'll just run it right through our embossing. Since I can't find it. I did this last week too. I lose pieces. I try to be very organized and on top of it, and it always seems to go awry when I go live. Alright, so we're going to put our shim at the bottom here. I'm going to get my base plate, which looks horrible, but it works perfectly. And then I'm going to have my top plate here. That's not the right one. I just recently changed out my top plate. And I'm going to stick this on here. And I like to use Post-it tape when I do this. It's not very sticky, but it keeps it in place. And for this one in particular, yes, it is gorgeous, Jen, isn't it? For this one in particular, I did a little bit of a longer piece. And I'm just going to line this up as best I can. I'm just going to stick this piece of tape right across, making sure that it's pushed down in the middle here. I'm going to stick my plate on top and just run it right through. Normally I have this already done, but I misplaced it. All right, this is where the magic happens. So we take it from one sheet. Looks like it might have shifted a little bit. Get this tape off of here. And we have our tree cut out for us. So fun. I love all of our products that we have. It just makes everything so fun and easy. Yeah, Post-it tape is great. I love it. Next, when I run out of this one, I think I'm going to get the little bit thicker version because I've heard that it lasts a little bit longer. All right, so let's put our card back out here and get assembling here. So we're going to have our white be, let me burnish this so that it stays closed. How was your day? Did you guys have a good day? It was kind of gloomy here, but it still was pretty nice out. It wasn't too cold. So I'm going to have my white in the background, and then I'm going to have, this is the Coastal Cabana, which is from the Winterly Nest, something like that, DSP. And as you can see, it's a very thin 1/8 of an inch border around there, just to give it a little bit of extra color And we're just going to glue this down. And my trick is always, I hold it down at the bottom and I work from the bottom up, and I make sure the bottom, left, and right are even. And if that's true, it generally will, let me pull this off here, it generally will be centered. And the thing about green glue, let's do this backwards. Do this the other way, since I messed up that end. The thing about green glue is it gives you a little bit of time to shimmy it around. I just had it stuck down there a little too long. There we go. We'll put this at the bottom, and our snow will cover that. Isn't that so pretty together? I just love this color pairing. Let me see. Put a little bit of glue here. There we go. And then I'm going to glue down the back here. Which one was the one I messed up? It's this one. So we'll put it this way. Make sure I have my card correct. Can't tell you how many times I've done that. I've put it on and my card's upside down. I just made a bunch of book boxes yesterday, and don't you know, I used directional paper and I did it backwards. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But I'll figure out a use for them. I'll figure out how to repurpose it. All right, so we have our background. And then what we would do is we would take our piece of basic white that is 4 by 4 7/8. You want to make sure you know which side is going to line up exactly with your bottom here, or your coastal cabana. And then we're going to take the gorgeous die in this set right here, and we're just going to lay it out. And if you notice, there's white under here. On this die, there is nothing to cut it on this edge here, so when it cuts, it leaves the end open. So you can put it as high as you want, and whatever's underneath it's not going to get cut off. It's just going to look just like this. So I kind of lined it where I wanted it to go, and I ran it through the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, and I got this. How pretty. And so it's going to fit exactly across. So what I did was I used some dimensionals, which are essential in your basic toolkit when you're making cards. Everybody loves to have their cards have dimension, right? At least I think so. All right. I put 6 on here just because that's how I felt it best held it up, because I don't like my cards to sag. And usually when you send it through the mail is hard on them. So I prefer to over-dimensional than under-dimensional. Are you guys an over-dimensionaler or under? I'm definitely an over. So I'm just going to line this up with the sides and the bottom here. And then I'm just going to pick it up to make sure that I'm getting it straight. Looks like it's cut a little bit long, but that's okay. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It really just looks like it's snowing in the background. It's so pretty. Next, we're going to take our tree. And of course, the tree has to have dimensionals too. Can't leave it out, right? It's got to match with the other trees. So I'm going to put think it's 5 on this one. Make sure they're on there. And take these backings off. I have these backings all over my house. They just like to migrate. Alright, so I'm going to take the tree, and if you notice on the card, I put it behind this white tree here. So I'm just going to take the edge here, and I'm going to nestle it behind the tree, like this. And then I'm just going to get it, maneuver it around until I get it where I want it with the tree on the outside, to give it a little bit of extra dimension there. And then I'll push that down. How pretty is that? It actually kind of makes it look like there's extra snow on that side, on the top there. So pretty. And you can't see the Wink of Stella, but oh, it's there and it's gorgeous. All right, so I used for this the Unbounded Love, I believe. I thought this was really fun and feminine. Since the Frosted Forest bundle didn't have a sentiment die with it, I went and found my own. Found a different one to use. And I used the, let's see, whoops, stay there. This is from the Paper Pumpkin August of this year, Time for Cake stamps. If you want to sign up for Paper Pumpkin, you can look in my description. I have in my online store, you can sign up for it there. So I'm going to use the Make-A-Wish stamp from that for this, because I thought that it worked perfect, making a wish out, you know, and looking at the Christmas tree. And all right, and I'm going to use a basic gray ink for this. Scoot this over here. Yeah, you're backwards world, Susan. Yeah, I get a lot of things backwards these days. I can't believe I did those books that way. Alright, so I'm just going to tap, 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 ink up my stamp here, and then I'm going to take it and center, push down, give it some pressure. And I have found with the darker colors, if you let it set for a little extra, it gets it a little bit darker. Isn't that pretty? I just love that, those two fonts together. I think it just gave it a bit of a magical feel to it. And who's surprised? We're going to use dimensionals for this. And this one I did 4 as well. Make sure that it stayed popped up. Let's get these backings off. There we go. Whoops, I'm throwing dimensionals around. All right, so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to kind of nestle it behind the tree a little bit, since I have the tree over a little bit more. And I'm just going to get it to where I think that it looks good. Then I'm going to pick it up and look at it head on to make sure that I have it straight, because I am the queen of making it crooked. And I have found that if you look at it straight on before you push it down, it makes it almost perfect. Isn't that so pretty? I love it. And then on our paper, our scratch paper that we had, I think I put it down here. Our basic white extra piece of paper. We're going to take the Frosted Forest bundle, And you didn't stick like you're supposed to. And I'm going to use this little dove here. And I'm going to get a block. I'm going to stick it down here. Take my small block and mount it up. And I used crumb cake for this. I felt it made it a little bit softer on here. So I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. And then you just stamp down your dove. Isn't that so pretty? He's so cute. This whole set is so cute, so pretty. And I already cut this one out, and I didn't lose this one. So I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to get my scissors here, and I'm just going to cut a little strip of my dimensionals so that it will fit along the wingspan here, because I don't like having to cut the small ones into little pieces, so I like to use the outsides. All right, and so I just took our dove and I kind of nestled him in here, stuck him down there. How pretty. And then nobody should be surprised by this. I used the gold dragonflies and birds and iridescent pearls. I use these a lot. Yes, Debbie, thank you. Yes, don't forget to click the like and the subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and I am so appreciative. So I'm just going to take one of these birds here. Whoops. And I stuck him over here on the Make-A-Wish, kind of making him go kind of flying up. I just put one. And then I took two of these gorgeous pearls, and I just stuck them over here because it looked a little lonely to me over here, so I thought a little extra something something. And that's our card front. Isn't that so pretty? I love these pearls. They're so pretty. All right, so now we get to do our inside. And for this inside, we'll also do our envelope here. So we are going to take our inside piece, which is 3 3/4 by 5, which will go in here. And I'm going to take our stamp set from our Frosted Forest bundle. I'm going to use this small tree, and I'm going to use the dove again. So I'm going to take this small tree out. I'm going to mount him on a block. Oh, look, I've got dimensional piece on there. Not surprised by that. I like to do that. All right, there we go. So we have our small tree here. I went back to using the old olive, and I'm just not going to stamp on the card just in case. So I'm just going to take my tree. I'm going to just tap, tap, tap real gently. And I'm going to stamp down here. Hold it for a minute. Let it have a time to transfer. And then, see, I would have stamped that upside down. Do our envelope as well. Stick this here. Press down. Oh man, I had it on my finger. Oh well. It can't be a Cassie card unless I get ink somewhere. It's not supposed to be. All right. And we're going to go back with our crumb cake, if I can find it. Here it is. And we are going to do our cute little dove. Just going to tap, tap, tap. And I just put one dove up here. And I did one dove over here. Just thought it was so pretty. Then I used a sentiment from the Frosted Forest bundle, the birthday wishes for a day as great as you are. So I used this one, and let me clean off this tree so I can use this block. Stick him over here. And I'm going to stick this down. Which way does it go? Okay, it goes that way. Stick this down so that I know that it's straight and I can mount it where I think it's straight at least. All right, and then I used basic gray. And just gonna tap, tap, tap. And I don't know if you can tell, but I stamped it crooked on this one because I didn't put the paper to the side. And usually if I put the paper to the side, I can get it straighter, more straight. So I'm going to turn this to the side. We'll see if I get it more straight. Aha, success. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Nice and fun on the inside. I love this card too, Jen. Isn't it so pretty? I had so much fun playing with this bundle and creating this design for you guys. All right, so we're going to take our beautiful card, open it up, and put some glue of your choice. I use green glue, but you can use Stampin' Seal or tape runner, whatever it is that you choose. I'm going to line this up on the bottom left and right. There we go. Push it down. And there we go with our first card. Isn't that so pretty? It's simple, but it's gorgeous. And that little Wink of Stella just adds a little bit extra there. You could also put it down here on the snow if you wanted, or on the sides of the trees, the white trees. Hey Amy, how are you doing? No worries being late, you're good. You get to see the card that we made, the first card. I have 2 cards tonight. And that's our inside and our envelope. So pretty. I love this card. All right, and our second card for tonight is this one. How pretty is this? I just think it's so pretty. We have the snowy sky embossing folder back here. And this paper is from the Snowy Wonders DSP. And we just used this die from our bundle. And this die is from, I think it's called Color and Contour, which I believe is retired. So you could use any sentiment piece that you have. I just kind of liked this because I thought that it was very feminine and girly. And since I have some expired or some retired things, I was going to go ahead and use them. And then our envelope has the 3 doves, and our inside, isn't that pretty? The doves are kind of flying around the birthday sentiment there. So pretty. So what we're gonna do, I already ran the basic white through the embossing folder, and it is the, I'm not sure what I did with it. I'm pretty sure it's the Snowy Sky, something Snowy Sky or Snowy Fall, Snowfall, I can't remember. Let's see if I can get this to where you can see. There you go. You see that texture on there? Oh, it's so pretty. And this is the paper from the Snowy Wonders DSP. It's beautiful. It's probably my favorite piece out of that DSP set. I'm going to do the same thing and burnish this so that it will lay down flat here. It's easier to work with that way. Then I'm going to take my basic white that is embossed, and I'm going to put the part of the snow that is heavier down at the bottom and the part that is lighter at the top, because that's kind of how it is when it snows. But I have seen it where some people do it the opposite way, so it's whatever choice you want to make. This is just how I chose to do it. So I'm going to stick this down. Actually, you know what? I did this on dimensionals. Just kidding. I was thinking the way I was looking at it that I did the pink in dimensionals, but I didn't. So take 2. Pretend I didn't do that. All right. Put dimensionals on here. I'll just have to not push too hard to have it stick with the glue. Real life, guys. Make mistakes every day. All right. It's going to be a little sticky with the glue. Yeah, I remember I popped it up now. I was looking at it differently because I was going to recreate it. All right, and last one here. Now that my fingers are all sorts of gluey. All right. And then make sure I know. Okay, so it opens that way. All right. I'm going to stick this here. There we go. I'm going to lightly press that so it doesn't stick down with the glue. And then we're going to glue this piece onto our white. That's what we glued. We're going to glue this one. We're going to really glue this one. Put extra glue on it because the background is embossed, and you need a little bit of extra glue in order to make sure that it sticks. And I do recommend using liquid glue when you are gluing on top of any type of embossed paper. It just has it stick a little bit better than if you were to, I'm going to pop these up here because I tried to glue it and so it's gluing itself. All right, unglue, unglue, thanks. All right, so now we're going to take our tree from the featured bundle for tonight, the Frosted Forest. And you can see here I did a little bit more of snow at the bottom than I did here. It's whatever you want to do because there's no end to that die. So you, as far up as you go is how much is going to be underneath, which I think is really fun because you can really customize it that way. If you want to make it taller so you have more of a snowy, background going on, so you could put, like, you could do the Yuletide village with it, have this up a little higher, and then put all the village houses down lower. That would be pretty. All right, so we're going to do 4 here. The possibilities are endless with these bundles. I think it's so much fun to play with them and to see what you can come up with. What you come up with is different than what somebody else would come up with. And that's what I find so amazing about being part of Stampin' Up! And all the demonstrators, because everybody has such different ideas. Things that I never would have thought about. All right, so for our sentiment, for the happy birthday, I used the Go-To Greetings. I don't remember if this one is retired or not. But I just really like this font here, and I was trying to find a happy birthday that would fit on here. And I used Pool Party for this to go along with our pastel-y kind of background card here. I'm going to tap, 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 and go sideways because I don't know why, but I can get it straighter that way. Put this down, put a little bit of pressure, hold it for a second. Oh, it's a little crooked. That's okay. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that font gorgeous? I love it. All right. Close that up. Make sure this is dry because I smudged one earlier. I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. I'm going to do 2. Take the backings off. They're sticking to me now that I have glue on my fingers. And I'm just going to pop it back here. Lightly push it so that I can put it up and look at it head on to get it straight, or as straight as I can. Isn't that so pretty? Then we're going to do our gold birds again. One of my favorites. And you can put them wherever. I think I'm going to put this one down here because he's cute down there, kind of coming out from the trees. And then I did these pearls. Oh, look, there's a big one already waiting for me to get him. And I don't know if you can tell, but I put them in between the snowflake backs of the background here. I put them in the middle as to how I kind of placed them. So let me find a bigger snowflake here. We'll put this one, let's put this one here. Then I'm going to do, let's do this one here. I thought it was so fun to have them in the middle of the snowflakes. We'll go here. Isn't that pretty? And then I had to add some Stella on this one too. So I went sideways with it and I put it on the snow bottom here. And I actually really liked it going sideways because I don't know if you can tell, but it makes these little wispy lines of extra glitter. And I thought that added such a fun little touch there. Extra texture too, to make it look like it's got a little stamped on it or something. And that's our card front. How pretty is that? And then for our inside, we did, let's see, I think I already, did I already stamp it, or what did I do with it? Oh, it's over here. Yep, I already stamped it. So I used the doves in crumb cake, and I used the same birthday wishes that we did for the other card sentiment from the Frosted Forest bundle in Pool Party to do the sentiment there. So we are going to glue our inside to the inside of our card. What do you guys think of these cards? Do you like them? Like them as much as I do? I think they're so pretty. Let's get this centered here. There we go. And then we have our envelope already stamped as well with our doves. And that's card 2. So pretty. So here are our 2 cards for tonight. So we have our first one in Coastal Cabana. And then we have this one, which I'm pretty sure is Petal Pink. so, so pretty. So wintry feeling. I just love it. Thank you so much for joining me live tonight. I really appreciate it. I love being on here, getting to share my designs with you and getting some feedback on it. If you're not already, follow me on my socials. I have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. All of it is linked in the description. Also consider joining my email list. I send out a weekly newsletter. It's all happy fun. Sparkle and Shine is what it's called. So it's just a little bit of happy fun going on there each week. And my next live is going to be next Monday, December 23rd, 6 p.m. And you don't want to miss it because it's going to be a new bundle from our January mini. Get a first look at it. The new January mini you can order, I think, starting January 7th. It's our new January mini bundle. So you can start ordering on January 7th. So next week I'm going to be featuring a new bundle. So you definitely don't want to miss it. Get a sneak peek as to what's coming out. And thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, a good weekend, safe weekend, and I will see you guys next Monday. Bye.